What's up, people of the internet? My name is Dabacab, and today we're going to draft another deck in Artifact. So for those of you who don't know, howlingmine.com is a website where you can test out a draft. We did another video earlier where we basically drafted an entire deck, so we're going to try the same thing today. Now, last time we made, I want to say, a blue-green deck, so we're definitely going to try to avoid that today. At least attempt to make a red deck, at least attempt to make a black deck. We might also end up doing green and blue in there as well, but at the very least, we want to try something different this time around. All right, so we're going to dive straight in and take a look at this. Now, remember that we're going to try to avoid green and blue a lot because I don't want to end up making the exact same video that I made last time. But nonetheless, let's go through these each one in color. So in black, we have Winter Wyvern, which is an okay choice. She's pretty aggressive. She kills heroes with Winter's Curse, but not very well. And she moves around the battlefield to ensure that you get damage where you want it. So she's an okay option. I think I'm probably going to pass on her to see what else we get. Assassin Shadow is super aggressive. It hits like a truck, man. It hits like a truck loaded with knives. But just don't know if I want to commit to a super expensive card early on. Red Mist Pillager could have potential because obviously in draft it's going to be very difficult for opponents to reliably deal direct damage to units because you can't stack your deck with 3 times Annihilations or 3 times Slays. So any unit that snowballs can be particularly hard for the opponent to deal with. Oh, I said I was going to do this in color. I'm skipping. I should go over to black. Arcane Censure is bad. Don't prioritize it. And Assassin's Apprentice is okay. The issue with Assassin's Apprentice is that it dies to melee creep, so it's just super vulnerable. Okay, now red. As I said, Red Mist Pillager can really snowball, which is nice and it's hard to deal with. And New Orders is super flexible. So not a bad option, but in order for New Orders to be good, we need good heroes. So I don't know if I really want to prioritize this because I'd rather wait to see if we get a strong hero. In blue has all like really strong cards right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Tower Barrage I personally love because it's cheap and most blue spells are like most powerful blue spells are really expensive. So Tower Barrage is both useful and powerful, flexible, and it's cheap. So I love this card personally. Just the fact that it deals damage to the entire lane and heroes is fantastic. And one for me is pretty solid, probably a little bit better constructed, where gold flow is higher. And then Troll Soothsayer can help you get a little bit of an edge. But like I said, I don't want to focus too much on blue and green, so we'll try to avoid that. I don't know if you saw my video the other day, but we just learned that green is the most popular color in draft, followed I think by blue, I want to say, and then red and black are the least popular. So I want to try and try out another angle this time. And then we've got Intimidation, which is an okay card, but we don't have any other green supporting cards, so I don't know if I want to go heavily into this. And then actually we've got 2 pretty solid items. These items are a higher tier, but despite the fact that they're pretty good items, I don't know if I want to spend my first pick on these. So I think actually what I'm gonna do is try out Red Mist Pillager plus maybe a blue card, maybe Tower Barrage. Maybe we could do a red-blue deck. And so the way that the draft works is in your first pack you get a hero choice, and if you pick the hero choice, then you can't pick any other heroes for the rest of the pack. But if you pass on it, then later on in the deck, you'll get another opportunity to get a hero. However, I don't know if that's implemented in this draft simulator, so I don't know if we're going to get the opportunity to see another hero. But since I'm not particularly in love with these black cards at the moment, I think I'm just going to pass on Winter Wyvern and see if we can get another hero. I'm not exactly sure. We'll find out. Tidehunter, there's our second option, and it's not an amazing one. If I want to get red, I'd rather have beefier heroes for sure. So let's go through the colors. Tidehunter's all right. I mean, like I said, I'd rather have Bronze Legion. I'd rather have Axe, and that just might not be viable. The question is it worth spending the pick on Tidehunter, or would I rather have Keep the Bold? And if we end up getting a lot of like hero buffing cards, then Tidehunter would be better because you just buff Tidehunter, make him strong. But if you end up getting like redirect cards like New Orders, then Keep would be a little bit better because you don't need to buff up Keep. So we got Burning Oil, which can absolutely shred melee creep, and it's pretty good against green decks, and we actually just learned that green is the most popular color in draft. So I'm actually kind of feeling Dimensional Portal. That might not be a bad call. And then we've got Bronze Legionnaire, which is the Creep Slayer Extraordinaire. And so pretty okay red options, I would say. In blue, we've got Lost in Time, which we don't want really because it's expensive and lock isn't amazing. So we got Dimensional Portal, which is really good. 3 creeps for 1 card is fantastic. And then you just got Better Late Than Never, which is about a third as powerful as Dimensional Portal. I mean, it's got cross lane presence, but I'd rather get like just raw value. So I am feeling this card definitely. Black just has Grazing Shot. And then interestingly, we have 2 really, really strong items actually. Blink Dagger is arguably the best item in the game, and Clash Dream Hourglass is also a fantastic item. So normally I don't... Oh, and then of course we got Champion of the Ancient in green, but Champion of the Ancient is not a good card because if you watched my reveal video about this, basically the issue with Champion of the Ancient is it's only strong if there's a lot of enemies in the lane, but if there's a lot of enemies in the lane, then it's too late. It doesn't matter that he gets big. You know what I mean? So normally I don't recommend getting items early on because the default items are pretty solid. But Blink Dagger is fantastic. So I think I'm actually going to pick this up. Then the question is, I'm kind of feeling a toss-up between Dimensional Portal, which has great flexibility, or Bronze Legionnaire. And I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards Bronze Legionnaire because if we're going red-blue, blue's going to be a little bit top-heavy, so I want to have some early cheap presence, and Bronze Legionnaire is one way to do that. So let's move on. Okay, so going through colors. Oh, these colors match us just perfectly. In red, we have Legion Standard Bearer, which synergizes amazingly with Dimensional Portal, which unfortunately we did not pick up. We have Smeevil Arms Master, which synergizes amazingly with Tidehunter, which unfortunately we did not pick up. And then we have Clear the Deck, which gives Cleave, but of course we don't know what heroes we have, so we don't know how useful this is going to be yet. And then we've got in blue, we have Dimensional Portal, which as I said is pretty good, and Relentless Zombie, which is okay, not amazing. Black has Dirty Deeds. We don't want that because improvements aren't super common in draft. You just can't expect them reliably every game. And then Collateral Damage modifies black heroes, but we're not looking to go into black. Assassin's Veil is okay. If we had some really strong red heroes, then we might want to consider picking this up because if you've got an axe, you want to be able to make sure axe hits where you want axe to hit. But unfortunately, we don't have any amazing red heroes at the moment. So what I'm personally feeling is the synergy of Dimensional Portal plus Legion Standard Bearer. Alright, next up we have Skywrath Mage. Okay, so I don't know if the game is supposed to do this actually. Does anyone know if the actual real life draft mode will give you 3 possible card selections? I don't know if it's supposed to work that way. It's kind of interesting actually. So I'm kind of feeling this card. Just because Mystic Flare is really good, Skywrath Mage's passive is solid, and I mean his body's really weak, but you know, getting a hero this late is fantastic, and these other options aren't good. Revtail Investments, it's basically a worse version of Ironfall Goldmine, and Arcane Censure is terrible, and we don't want black cards anyways. Fight Through the Pain is not bad, but as I said, we don't really know which red heroes we're going to end up having, so we don't know how valuable +2 armor is. You know, if we end up having Axe in this deck or Bristleback, then the armor is even less useful than before. It's not bad if it's a red hero with no armor or 1 armor, then it could be useful, but in general, still, get Initiative for 1 mana is really good. Diabolic Revelation we don't want because it has incredible anti-synergy with Red Mist Pillager. It kills all of our Red Mist Pillagers, which we do not want. And Clash Dream Hourglass is great, so I think we're going to pick up these actually. Skywrath Mage for the blue control, incredible damaging spells, and Clash Dream Hourglass because it's an excellent item. And there just aren't a lot of other options. Fight Through the Pain could be okay here. Tower Barrage, definitely. Tower Barrage is an excellent card. Untested Grunt is not amazing. We don't want to go into black. Mercenary Exiles, we don't really want to spend our gold on this. So the best way to think of Mercenary Exiles is basically a 3-cost melee creep with 1 armor. We could get Blade of the Vigil instead, but we've already got a couple items and the default items are just fine. So I think we'll just pick up Mercenary Exiles in case we need a body. And then we'll pick up these two because why not? Okay, Beastmaster, perfect. So we're gonna take Beastmaster just because he's in our color, right? It kind of doesn't matter how good or bad he is. He's a solid card. He's decent. His abilities effective. He's got a decent body. The important thing about Beastmaster is that he's better than Keith the Bold, because Keith the Bold has a comparable body to Beastmaster, but Keith the Bold's signature card is garbage, man. 5 mana for +1 attack and +1 armor. Ugh, it's bad. So, Burning Oil can give us some nice defense against the ever so popular green decks and against melee creep. Pick a Fight could be pretty decent. Choose an allied hero. It taunts. Not bad paired with Keith the Bold or Beastmaster. In green, which we don't really prioritize, is Rebel Decoy, which is good, and Satyr Duels, which is excellent. But like I said, we're already going blue, so I don't know if I want to go green, just on principle. Even though these are both pretty solid options in general. Tyler Estate is not a good card. Shadows Assassin is a decent card, but I don't know if I would want it with this deck anyways, because Beastmaster already has 3 7-cost cards, and we don't want to overburden the 7-cost slot anyways. Messenger Rookery, however, could be pretty solid. If you put Messenger Rookery in a lane with a red hero, then every single turn you're ensuring that that red hero is smacking in exactly where you want. So on turn 1, like let's suppose you have, you know, a blue hero, a red hero, and a red hero in your starting deployment. So let's suppose it just happens so it's red, blue, red. And so in the first lane, the fight happens, whatever. In the second lane, you use Messenger Rookery on the third lane. And then when it gets over to the third lane, that's where, let's say, your Beastmaster is. So you use Messenger Rookery to redirect the Beastmaster to whatever target you want to ensure that he dominates that lane as much as possible. So I like this synergy for red-blue. I don't know how strong this card is in general, but in red-blue, it kind of finds a home more than in other color combinations. So I'm liking that option. Ring of the Trask is pretty strong, but it's expensive. 12 gold is a lot, and we don't really want Obliterating Orb because it's expensive as hell. And it's hard to get gold in draft mode, and we're in red, and red has exceptional improvement destruction. So we'll see if we can pick up something like Erase or any of the other red destroying improvement cards. Okay, so we'll just go through black and green real quick. We have the Pit Fighter, which can be good, especially when you synergize it with cards like Dimensional Portal. We have Murder Plot. We don't have any black heroes, so no good there. In green, we have Avernus' Blessing, which is like a much crappier version of Mists of Avernus, so we don't want that. And then Alter the Mad Moon. It could, I mean, that also synergizes spectacularly with Dimension Portal, but we're going to avoid green. So, in blue, we have nothing. In red, we have another Standard Bearer. The nice thing about having Standard Bearer is that you can put 2 next to each other. You have 4 6s, which are also giving, you know, the things right next to them, +4 attack. So that's a pretty good opportunity. You can also put, you know, 1 unit in between 2 Legion Standard Bearers for +8 attack. So that's kind of crazy. We have New Orders, which is a little bit redundant with the Messenger Rookery, and we don't have super strong heroes yet, so I don't know if we want to prioritize that. Crippling Blow is terrible, so I'm thinking it'll probably be a combination of Legion Standard Bearer, Fight Through the Pain, and the Reptile Signet, which is also really good. If we're going to go blue, having a high health, low bounty item might be pretty good. So I'm kind of feeling, let's go with a Fight Through the Pain just to give us some initiative. The idea being, you use Fight Through the Pain in one lane, enabling you to get initiative so that you can cast a really big blue spell in the second lane. So we definitely want to have initiative in this deck, so we're going to pick Fight Through the Pain to enable cards like, oh, you can't see it, but to enable cards like Mystic Flare, right? And then let's go with, actually, kind of a toss-up between these two. I'm not sure what I'm feeling. I wish I knew how many other blue heroes we were going to have. If we were going to have a lot of weak blue heroes, then I would definitely feel the Reptile Signet Ring. So maybe let's go with Legion Standard Bearer, because we've already got 2 really good items. So let's get some creep in there. Okay, green and black, as I said, we're kind of avoiding. Black has enough magic, which is great in mono red or red black because those those colors are spectacular at the combat phase, but blue doesn't really like skipping to the combat phase, so I don't know how useful that's going to be. Path of the Wise, I don't know how good this is going to be. I just don't know how many blue cards we're going to end up having. The Omex Arena is not a good card, so these are not super strong options. I think I'm just going to pick up enough magic just because the other options are terrible. The items aren't impressive, so I'm just going to get Path. Honestly, this is a really weak turn for us. Watchtower is terrible. Really, really bad. Arcane Assault is quite good, actually. It can help us get initiative for when we need it. And then, as I said, black and green we're kind of not dipping into, and Temple of War is not spectacular, so I'm not really feeling that. So I think I'm going to get actually Arcane Assault and Stonehall Plate. Stonehall Plate will go very, very well with our weak blue heroes. And then we have garbage out of color picks. So we're just going to pick up the item because it's the only thing that's useful to us, and then it doesn't matter. And then we got another Standard Bearer. Okay. Another Beastmaster. So I am not going to pick this because I don't want not 7 Primal Wars. I don't want 6 Primal Wars in my deck. That's a bit excessive. So even though Beastmaster is in my color, I'm going to avoid it. No other red colors here. In blue, we have Messenger Rookery. We have one of those already. Diabolic Revelation we don't want because it has terrible synergy. Relentless Zombie could be okay, not amazing. Glyph of Confusion. This is for decks that have very few units, and we don't know if we're going to have very few units. So that leaves Fog of War, which could give your red heroes the edge in combat, which could be pretty nice. Let me see. Black has actually some pretty decent cards. It has Ironfog, Goldmine, and Payday, which are awesome choices together. And then Forward Charge, which could be useful, but you know, we're not in black. And then the items are Helm of the Dominator, which is expensive, so probably don't want to get, and then a Stonehall Cloak, which is spectacular. So what I think we're actually going to end up getting here, I'm getting so many items. This is super rare. You usually don't want to do this, but I'm getting so many strong item choices. Blink Dagger, Stonehalls, Clashream, so this is kind of the exception to the rule. I normally wouldn't do this, and it stings to pass up a red hero, but I just don't want that many Primal Wars in my deck. It's too expensive. It's already going to be top heavy with blue. Red's supposed to even out that curve by giving you more early game presence, and 2 Beastmasters is just too much late game cards. Timbersaw is another red card option. The issue is Timbersaw is not super amazing. Is he better than Keep the Bold? I mean, probably, just because his card's actually usable. And then we've got Clear the Deck, which could be good, but I feel like Clear the Deck is more for a like red plus blue, or red. I'm sorry, not red plus blue. Red plus any other color than blue, because blue's so vulnerable. You want to have as many heroes out on the field as possible, and blue's really bad about that. But blue is really good at controlling combat with Compel. Compel's a spectacular card. It's just really, really good. And one for me is pretty good as well. We might want to consider picking up that, especially with our really strong item choices like Stonehalls and Blink Daggers. So I'm kind of feeling these two options. Black and green we don't really care about, and then we got another Clashream. So we're just getting so many great items. So do we want Timbersaw? It's +1 armor for each of his attackers, and Whirling Death. God, I'd love to watch Timbersaw in action. We definitely want Compel, and then it's between these two. I think I gotta go with N1 for me, just because these items are too good not to take N1 for me. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, in red we have Pick a Fight, not a bad option. Hellbear Crippler, pretty strong choice, because it can help shred attack, which is nice. Blue has Ventriloquy, not bad paired with red. Compel, spectacular, almost the better option in every way. Watchtower is no bueno, and green and black we don't care about. Plate Mail is not good, do not get it for draft. You just don't need 4 armor, especially at 15 gold, it's too much. So we're gonna take Compel and Hellbear Crippler to get us some early presence. Black, okay, so we just have black and green here. We'll check New Orders and Demagicking Maul because, like I said, we're pretty focused in our colors at the moment. Then we've got Arcane Assault, which is not bad at all, and then I guess Pick a Fight. We are scraping, oh, we got an Outworld, Devourer, so at least, and Cunning Plan, which is actually pretty good. So we kind of lucked out there at the end. Cunning Plan can help us, you know, keep our blue heroes alive, and it can help us put our red heroes in front of the units that we want to kill, so not a bad choice at all. Okay, we'll just go. Okay, so green has, wow, this is a really good green deck. You get Viper plus Mists of Avernus, or man, Stars Align, Satyr Duelist. There's so many good green cards. It's almost tempting to go into green here, but by God, we're not going to make another blue-green deck. So in red, we have Ogre Conscript, real strong, and we don't have a ton of 6-cost blue spells. So really all we have is just 3 Mystic players. So Ogre Conscript is looking really strong. Defensive stance, it's okay, not amazing. It will keep your blue heroes alive, worth mentioning, but yeah, past that, it's all right. So then we've got 2 cheap spells in blue. Strafing Run, which can give us some AoE. It won't hurt heroes, but it'll help clear out those creeps. And Better Late Than Never, which is real expensive, but it gives lane versatility. And then we have Friendly Fire. I think I'm probably going to go with, in this case, Better Late Than Never, because Friendly Fire, while kind of powerful, is just expensive, and I'm kind of concerned about the deck being top heavy, and I'd rather have other stronger blue spells. You know, I'm hoping for an Annihilation. I'm hoping for a Time of Triumph in this deck, and I just don't know if we're going to get it. So I think I'm going to opt for these 2 instead. Phantom Assassin doesn't really help us. Tower Barrage, though, is spectacular. Probably pick up that. Green, we're not focusing on. Smash their defenses. This is what I was talking about. Red has really good improvements. We're probably going to see at least 1 improvement per deck, so I'll probably pick this up. Call the Reserves is okay. Poised Strike is not bad. And these items we're not in love with, so we're going to take these. We have another Outworld Devourer. Not really feeling that. I am feeling Thunderstorm. Yes, please. Dimensional Portal, pretty good, especially with how many do we have? 3, I think. Where are they? Yeah, 3 Legion Standard Bearers. That's awesome for that. Green and black. Keenfolk Musket. We have another Stonehall Plate, which is a possibility. So I don't know if I want to. I think I'd rather have probably 3 reds and 2 blues if possible. So I don't think I want the Outworld Devourer. So I think I'll just take Thunderstorm plus Dimensional Portal. Here we have Fractured Timeline, not amazing, and then Cunning Plan, which is pretty strong. Black we don't care about, and then Assassin's Veil plus Revtail. We're gonna go with the Revtail to help keep our blue heroes alive. And here we're just honestly just sticking to the color, sticking to our colors. And then, oh, a Bristleback! Oh, thank you. Who passed on Bristleback that many times? That's fantastic for us. Okay. So, Aghanim Sanctum, kind of tempting. We don't have a lot of super expensive spells, so I don't know how useful that's going to be, but it's an option for sure. Lightning Strike, it's okay. Our only red color is Poised to Strike, and then we have another Stonehawk Cloak. God, we're getting such good items. So I think we're just going to take Aghanims. I personally don't like Lightning Strike. I don't like face damage spells, so I'm going to take Stonehawk Cloak. Sniper, okay, 3 in the wrong color. We've already gone over all these cards. We've gone over these cards as well. And we've gone over these cards. So I think we'll just take Legionnaire for some early presence. And then, let me see, we have 2 Compels and 2 Cunning Plans. So we're kind of saturated there. I think we'll take another and 1 for me because our items are so good. Lots of blacks. We have an Arcane Assault, a Hellbear Crippler, and more fantastic items. What is going on? I think we'll go with the Arcane Assault for sure. It's just so flexible. And then maybe another Hellbear. Do we want another Stonehall Cloak? No, we already got 2. Now we'll just take the items, or the creeps. Bolt of Damocles. That gives some amazing reach. I know I just said earlier that I don't like cards that that go face, but 20 damage is half of a freaking tower's health, man. That's real strong. So I'm kind of feeling these 2. Self-Sabotage is not very good, and we've already discussed the other options, so I'm kind of feeling these 2. Troll Soothsayer can help us draw into Bolt of Damocles, though I'm still hoping it's not likely at this point that we can get some other really big blue spells. Not amazing options, to be honest. These are just, yeah, we'll just get Defensive Stance, I guess, and then it doesn't matter. And then another Skywrath Mage. Huh. Okay, so now let's build the deck. First off, the obvious. We're going to definitely get a Bristleback, a Skywrath Mage, maybe even another Skywrath Mage. I have to think about it. 1 Beastmaster, because we like having red heroes. And then, I think I'd rather have 2 Skywrath Mages over an Outworld Devourer, to be honest with you. What does Astral Imprisonment cost 4? So the question is, we definitely just want one blue hero and then it keeps the bold because red gives us way stronger presence in the board, and we don't have a lot of super powerful blue spells, so we want to lean towards red rather than leaning towards blue. So I think we'll go with Skywrath Mage. The idea being we use Skywrath Mage's Mystic Flares to clear the board, and then we sort of finish off the game with our strong red heroes. That's, in theory, the game plan. So we should build supporting decks, supporting deck to help us accomplish that. So first off, let's fill in with some cheap units to help us survive early game. We definitely want the red mist. Okay, and the Ogre Conscript is super good. Then we will get the dimensional portals. Where are those? 2 dimensional portals, and let's say 2 Legion Standard Bearers. We'll try that combo out. We want all of our compels because compels are fantastic. We want Fight Through the Pain and Arcane Assault. Let's say 2 of those for now because those are fantastic. Thunderstorm we definitely want. Bolt of Damocles and Troll Soothsayer, we all want those for sure. We need 9 more cards to go. 3 Tower Barrage is amazing. 2 and 1 for me. That leaves us with 4 left. So probably 1 Aghanim Sanctum, 1 Messenger Rookery. I really want to try out Messenger Rookery with the red heavy deck, and then we'll see if there's any of these. We definitely don't want enough magic. Crippling Blow is bad. Smasher Defenses is pretty good. Hellbear Crippler. Do we have no cunning plans in this? We have no cunning plans in this. Can we remove something from here? Honestly, I don't know if we really need Aghanim Sanctum. But god, double Mystic Flare is really good. Alright, we'll take out 1 Tower Barrage to make room for a cunning plan. Oh no, I just added this. Okay. Now we'll move on to items. So we want a handful of items to keep our Skywrath Mages alive. And for that we will take Stonehall Cloaks for sure. Maybe 1 Stonehall Plate. We definitely want the Blink Dagger. That puts us at 4 of 9. We don't have a lot of weapons. We just have the 1 Blink Dagger. So maybe 2 Short Swords. And then we're missing, let me see, we have 1 armor. Do we have any other armors here that might be useful? Barbed Mail, ugh. Yeah, we need some good items, man. Shield of Basilius. I think we'll just go with a leather armor. And then, let me see, we have... So we'll go with the Reptile Signet Ring, I think. And then maybe another Traveler's Cloak, because Traveler's Cloak is just so good. A little bit defensively oriented, but not bad. Okay, so here's this deck's game plan. Alright, here's what we're going to try and do. Basically, early game, you're going to try and create a presence with Bronze Legionnaire plus Dimensional Portal and your very strong red hero roster. So that's kind of early game. You're going to support this lineup, ideally, with combat affecting cards such as Cunning Plan, Messenger Rookery, Compel. Yeah, that's basically just those cards that will help your red heroes attack what you want to attack. Then, hopefully, you can buy one of these spectacular items early on. Something like a Stonehall or a Blink Dagger. And then, in the mid-game, we will ideally double it with N1 for me. So we'll have multiple Blink Daggers, multiple Stonehalls on our heroes, and they're getting bigger and bigger. So then in sort of like the mid to late game, we're going to start pumping out our Mystic Flares along with our Skywrath Mage's shredding armor effect to support our red heroes and make sure that they get the kills that they need, to make sure that they survive combat, and to make sure that they hit the towers as hard as possible. Also worth mentioning that we have a bunch of arrow redirecting abilities such as Cunning Plan and Compel, and Messenger Rookery, and these combo fantastically with Bristleback because you can use those to get all the armor you would ever need on Bristleback. So if you're going to have a lane with 2 heroes, it'd probably be Bristleback's lane. It's most likely you're going to have a Bristleback plus 1 Skywrath Mage, so you can cast all these juicy blue spells to support your Bristleback. And the other Skywrath Mage honestly could be in front of either one of these. It kind of doesn't matter. So that's the game plan. That's the deck that we built. I think it's not too bad. It kind of has a strategy in mind. We got some incredible items, like really, really strong items, which is great because it's in a red deck, and red is really great at getting early kills and therefore early gold. And we've got 2 and 1 for me, so we can double it. My one regret is that we didn't get a really expensive like 25 gold item. I would have liked to have at least one of these in the deck, because then if we could just hit that 25 gold mark, then we could deploy it and then start doubling them with end 1 for me and kind of run away with the game. But instead, it looks like we've got sort of a surplus of cheap cards instead. So hopefully we can use the blue support to help the red run away with the game and go far with this deck. I wish we could play it, but anyways, let me know what you think about this deck. Let me know what you think about this video. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any ideas for videos, if there's any content you want me to make, if there's any topic you want me to cover, I would genuinely love to hear it, because we've got a freaking month to go before we can actually start putting out artifact gameplay footage. So I would love video ideas. If there's something you want me to cover, let me know and I will do my best. So thank you for watching. Dabacab out.